Hi, welcome back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel, and we are still here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. Our last segment, we're going to be talking with a couple of women here that are going to be representing youth lines at the East Metro Arts and Culture Council Youth Summit. That's kind of a mouthful there. But with me tonight, I have Ashley Benson and her sister, Michelle Benson. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So, you are involved with an organization called Youth Lines, correct? And that is one of the organizations that will be represented at the Youth Summit here in Gresham, and that is going to be on September 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Gresham High School.
Yep.
So how did you, Youth Lines, tell me, one of you, if you could, what that organization does, what it's all about.
Okay. Youth Line, we're a teen-to-teen crisis line. And what's really interesting about us is that we take texts, chats, and calls from 4 to 10 every day. We can talk about anything from somebody just having a bad day, or we can talk to more serious topics like suicide or abuse. It's a really large spectrum.
And then outside of those hours, if somebody is needing to call, they have access to our adult crisis line. So that is available 24/7, 365 days a year and everything. Right. So there is always support if somebody needs it.
Do you get a lot of calls?
It depends on the day. Some days we can be super busy, and I've had 4 texts at a time and then a call on the same night. A couple of times we've had like 30 total texts, chats, and calls in one day, and some days we have like absolutely nothing.
Really? So you can't really tell, but you have to be there just in case, right? So at this summit, if I understand correctly, your organization, it's Youth Lines, correct? Is going to be represented, and you'll be tabling, giving, have information for people. Is the purpose of this for you being there to just get the information out that this is an organization available to people, or to look for people to volunteer, or what? We're
definitely doing both. We would love to have more volunteers, especially because every year we have more of us go to college and move away. So it's super helpful to have more volunteers, and because we recently are now 7 days a week rather than 5, so we need more. It's great.
And also, if somebody were to want to volunteer, they can do more of what Michelle does, which is take calls, or they can do more what I do, which is outreach. So we'll go to classrooms and we'll speak about, this morning I spoke about depression and suicide to classes, or we'll do more fun events like the Youth Summit and everything, and just get the word out.
So if I understand correctly, and what I've read about the Youth Solutions Summit, there's been an interest in trying to figure out how to better serve the youth of the community. That there's obviously every community has issues, and I know the East Metro Arts and Culture Council has always had art as a focus. I believe there will be some art in the form of music, and Amanda Richards is going to perform there, and I'm not sure what else. And she's been here at our studio quite a bit, and has done things with Metro East. There's an artist, Fabian, I believe, who is going to be, he does murals and things like that, I guess. Do you know of his work?
Yeah, it's really cool. He does, I believe he does murals about stuff that he's experienced and everything, and because of that, it's more relatable to what the youth are going through and stuff.
Okay, and I understand Amanda too also has had some issues in her youth that has made her want to be part of this and to contribute. So there will be some substance abuse counselor, mentors, some people that can talk, about their experiences. I understand there's organizations like Youth Lines and others that are going to be there wanting to talk with the youth about their services, and but it's hard to know, is this what kids need? So this group might provide this one provides that. I think it's probably a good opportunity for those organizations to actually talk with the kids and find out, is what we're offering what you need, and what else do you need? For example, if you were to create your own organization and you were to provide a service for teens, what do you think would be the most pressing issue, or what do you think you would come up with, or just even if it's not a pressing issue, what would you think is missing?
Well, for me, I'd really like to have a better tutoring program because a really huge problem is education, and that's such a huge part of our daily lives. And it's extremely hard when kids need extra help and they can't get it. At my school, we have Scott Center, and it's really great because kids can go after school till 4:30 to get help from different teachers. But the frustrating thing is that there are so many kids and only like 4 teachers who only know their subjects.
Wow.
And yeah.
So does that seem like a common problem among kids? I mean, I can relate to that from the school. I always did really well except for math. I always had issues with that, and try to find a little extra help is not always easy. And the teachers are so, they're pulled so thin as it is.
Yeah.
And one thing that I would like is health class reform and everything. And instead of focusing on don't do this, don't do drugs, don't do alcohol, focus on, all right, we know you're going to experience this, and if you do, here are the solutions to help you with that situation and everything. And also with the mental illness side of that, instead of putting victimization on you if you're going through that, to really provide them with resources. Because with my own depression, because it was, well, if you're going through depression, that's a problem and you need to fix it because there's a big problem.
Snap out of it.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
always a great one. I love.
Yeah.
It's like, oh really? You've obviously never been there, have you? Yeah.
Snap out of it. And that's why I suffered from depression for about 6 years before I came to Lines for Life and realized that mental health is, it's just like having a scraped knee. You're going to get help and everything, and it's no big deal. It's nothing to be ashamed of.
So you've been on the other side. You've been helped by an organization that met your needs. Why did you get involved in this? Was it because of your sister?
Well, for me, it actually definitely was. We did film in like middle school, and that kind of branched out, and we met people in there who were a part of an old branch of Lines for Life, which was YAC, and it stands for Youth Advisory Council. And basically, we were kind of the front line for Lines for Life, and we were promoting our youth line and kind of getting out there. And we hosted a lot of really fun events to raise awareness. We also went to school boards and talked to them about bullying. It was really great. And so we joined them, and then funding was cut for them, and so I ended up joining the youth line.
Wow. So in thinking about your friends and your community, do you feel like most of the kids in your circle of friends, do they get the help they need when they have issues, whether it be mental health or physical health or whatever? I mean, do people know what's out there for them, and is it there?
I feel that they often get help when it's too late, or they often talk about their issues when it's too late.
That's a good point.
And especially because people they have their pride and they want to try and work through their own issues, and so talking with people it makes you vulnerable.
And it's hard to ask for help.
Exactly.
It's
and
really hard.
also, if you choose a friend or a parent, there are amazing resources and help places to turn to help. But sometimes, especially the friends, they don't have the support. They don't have the ability to wave a magic wand. And even though we youth liners don't have that ability either, we have a database. So whatever somebody is going through, we can give them the tools to help themselves.
So you have resources.
Yeah,
that you can provide
exactly.
them, and you have them right there at your fingertips.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's been a lot in the news about violence and that kind of thing, and not only with kids, obviously, but how does that affect you on a day-to-day basis? Are you afraid, at school? Is that something you worry about? Is violence at school or in your communities?
I think personally, it's kind of hard because my school is actually it's kind of widespread and it's large.
Over 3,000 students.
Yeah, and
you're
so
at
David Douglas.
David Douglas.
And so I'm not hugely worried about that, but I mean it's definitely a possibility. It's just it's something that you kind of go to school and you risk it.
And that's a scary thought.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, that's not something I ever thought about when I was in school. It wasn't. You just didn't think about that, but you kind of have to now because you hear about so many things. But so getting the word out about the organizations that are out there, I think is key. And I think the Youth Summit is part of it, but then also for the kids to be able to get there and tell their side of it. So at this summit then, this is open to anybody, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so would you encourage other kids to come and share their stories? And
Yeah.
It's amazing because you get to meet amazing people who are working to create a better community, and it's a wonderful goal to have. And you get to meet people. They're even doing the raffle, and you can have a chance to get gift cards.
Oh, that's nice.
Or-
I haven't
yeah.
noticed
Yeah,
that.
it's
Or
like
you
a
can
plus.
win a iPod. That's the grand prize and
Nice.
everything. And going back to the community thing that Michelle said, because you're going to this place where people are passionate about helping your peers and everything, you don't have that stigma at school of, oh, that's the popular person, I'm not able to hang out with them.
Right.
And you really make great friends and everything. And
You can make friends across those
Yeah.
those kind of lines of what group you're in, or
Yeah.
what your social status is, that kind of thing. Because you're all passionate about the same thing. You have the same thing in mind. I'm impressed that you're both so involved with it, because I think volunteering is something that we all should do. It's part of giving back to your community and being part of the community. And I love to see, youth getting involved early, because that's where to start it. That's the place. So what would you say to your fellow students? You're in college now, correct?
Yeah.
And you're still in high school. So what would you say to them if they said, no, I don't have time, I don't really want to do that? What's in it for somebody who is considering going to the youth summit, but just says, no, I'm not sure it's for me?
Well, I mean, not only will we be there,
There you go. What a great draw that is. That's great.
yeah, but I think it's great to get involved into your community. And for the past 3 days, I've talked to some amazing people who are extremely inspirational, and I wouldn't have done that if I had just been open and gone to events and just met people.
Yeah. And really, when you think about it, even though you don't go into it looking for something back, really, because I mean, when you're volunteering and doing community service kind of work, you're doing it to help other people. But don't you find you get more back out of it?
Yeah.
And there's the opportunity, if nothing else, there's opportunity to network with people too.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know who
Definitely.
you might meet who might be able to help you out somewhere along the line, job or whatever. So
And for me, how I originally got involved with Lions for Life was I had to do an internship for the summer through my high school. And I came back from vacation and they're like, hey, there's this film project. Do you want to do it? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then by doing that, it has opened up so many opportunities for me. I've met with people from Washington. Because of Lions for Life, I've received a $10,000 scholarship for
Nice.
school, and through Taco Bell, and I'm very, very grateful for it. I've gotten a huge support network and everything, and they're helping me with my career in multimedia and animation and stuff.
wow, how
And-
great! And that's not something you ever probably thought about when you started out, is
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, right there, you would convince me if I were, thinking twice about it. That's reason enough. So, so I would encourage people if they're, out there in the community, and everybody's welcome, correct? I mean,
Yeah.
so if somebody else, thinks they have something they could give or get from being at the Youth Summit, they should check it out. So this is put on by the East Metro Arts and Culture Council. This will be at Gresham High School, which is 1200 North Main Avenue in Gresham, and that's Saturday the 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So we're out of time. Thank you so much,
Thank
Michelle
you.
and Ashley, for being here today, and congrats on doing a good job.
Thanks.
It's great to have people like these two in the community, so I hope that you are, well, check out the Youth Summit if you find that something that interests you, or at least, be supportive of your community. And if you have kids, get them volunteering early, because they'll learn from it, and it helps benefit everyone. So thanks for watching Community Hotline. We'll be here next week. I'm Monica Weitzel. Good night. you.